The action heated up as the 2020 AIA Singapore Premier League headed into Week 3, which was played behind closed doors due to tightened coronavirus measures. The young Lions were eager to get off the mark as they entertained Ballistic Khalsa, while the Cheetahs returned home to Hougang Stadium and took on the Eagles. But first, we head to our Tampines hub as Tampines Rovers look to get back to winning ways against Tanjong Pagar United.
With that busy schedule for Tampines, Gavin Lee makes 3 changes. In comes Hazufa Aziz, Joel Chu and Erwin Shah. Yassir Hanapi still serving that 6-game ban carried over from last season. He played in midweek, but obviously ineligible for the game today. Great to see Joel Chu back. It was his cross, remember, that created that goal for Boris Kapotovic in the 1-0 win against Balestier here that we brought you live a couple of weeks ago. And there's also a return to the side for Shairul Suzali, the 23-year-old, going to have to take on some of the defensive responsibility. Meanwhile, looking at Tanjong Pagar United, and Duncan and Shukul mentioned it in the pre-show, they were impressive in terms of team spirit. They were hanging on at the end against the Lion City Sailors, but it was a well-earned point when all things were considered, and they have to make that one change, and it's a bit of a blow for them. Takahiro Tanaka misses out through an ankle injury, and in to fill that slot comes Shabil Hisham. Now the assistant manager of Tampines, captain the Stags, and Nur Alam Shah, who now is team manager, assistant coach of Tanjong Pagar United, came off the bench for Tampines Rovers as Boris Kapotovic could get here. Jordan Webb might scrap this up, and Jordan Webb latches onto a spill from Kenji, and having been man of the match against the Lion City Sailors, the Tanjong Pagar United keeper there has had an absolute shocker, and the Stags lead 12 minutes in. Tampines Rovers 1, Tanjong Pagar United 0. Well, it didn't look like Boris Kapotovic was going to make much happen here, because keep an eye on Jordan Webb. He wasn't really darting into the box with any purpose, but Kenji spilling the cross from Boris, and Jordan Webb gets his 5th goal of the season. The cross, really, he could have even afforded to leave it, Kenji, but after he went for it, he had to hold on to it, because once he spilled it, Jordan Webb won't score an easier goal than this all season. www.jordanwebbsfifthgoaloftheseason.com/all competitions. It's his first in the Singapore Premier League. Lewis Jr. now, can he bring Faritz into it? Yes, they can, over the top, and that's not a bad ball either. And a chance all of a sudden for Tanjong Pagar United, and what a chance it was for Ignatius Ang. First touch was okay, it was a second touch that left him in no man's land really, and he's furious with himself because you get the impression there won't be many chances coming the Jaguars' way this afternoon, and that was certainly one. Farid Samid hoped more than anything drifting that ball into the box. Ignatius Ang with a great first touch, and credit to Daniel Bennett, 42 years young, superb covering tackle. Right, so a corner for Joel Chu. Another set-piece opportunity on the 33-minute mark. Can Tampines double their lead? Shannon Stevens up for this, and Shannon Stevens' effort just goes wide. Over the top, Boris Kapotovic chasing this down, but Kenji gets it. That was handball, I think. Well, I'm not sure Kenji let go of that before he left the area. The replay will be very interesting. Was that handball from Kenji outside the area? Jordan Webb plays it in. Boris was bearing down. Kenji took it, and that was handball for mine. Well, 50-50, I suppose. Maybe give the keeper the benefit of the doubt, but he might have dodged a bullet and run up the other end. Jordan Webb finds Joel Chu brilliantly. Joel Chu now finds Shannon Stephen. Boris Kapotovic is lurking over on that far side. Boris might jump up for this. Boris Kapotovic gets there. And I think that's going to be, it's a goal kick has been awarded, has it? Boris was half angling to win a corner. Boris Kapotovic, like most, chasing Stipe Plazabad, who came up with 3 goals for Hougang in their win against the Young Lions by 4-1. Lewis Jr., oh, that's not troubling the Tampines defence that time. Comes back to Jan Motta. The Brazilian trying to find Farid Samid, and that was a brilliant ball, and it's found Farid Samid. Farid Samid looking to thread it through to Lewis Jr. and Tampines clear it, but that's the ball of the match for me so far. Jan Motta finding Farid Samid 50 yards away with an absolute pinpoint laser delivery. Can the Stags get the second goal that would, I think, kill this game off? It won't be dead as long as it stays 1-0. Jordan Webb took a deflection, and that's advantage being played. Shannon Stephen with a decent cross, and Kenji came, and it was his own defender that got in his way. And they've dodged a bullet there. I think it was Nazrul, was it? Or maybe Sharbil. And the referee is going to show a yellow card for that challenge that still sees a Stag on the deck. Well, let's have a look here at the decision that initially didn't come. It was Joel Chu that was felled. Lewis Jr. looking for the 1-2, I fancy, from Farid Samid. The flag's going to go up here. It's offside, which is a real shame because it was a good run from Nishikawa. It just didn't time it right. But good thinking in Tanjung Pagar United. Another example of how this game is not dead yet. And they're about to make their first change, Tanjung Pagar United, as we get another look at that offside call, rightly called against Nishikawa. Here's Nakamura. Well, if anyone was going to be given the last 20 minutes off, you'd probably want it to be Nakamura, how hard he's worked. Here's Mehmedovic, the half-time substitute. Mehmedovic beats one. Mehmedovic gets the shot away, and Kenji gets down to save. After a really smart passage of play from Zairudin Mehmedovic. Look at this. Mehmedovic, look how much space he has there. Yeah, Motta came towards him, but got turned inside out. Didn't quite get the shot away cleanly enough, though. Nakamura. Is Jordan Webb onside here? Is Jordan Webb onside? Yes, he is. Is Jordan Webb going to make it? www.jordanwebbsecondinthegame.com. And the Stags have got the 3 points in the bag now. The replay will tell us whether he was definitely onside. But the linesman's flag stays down, and Jordan Webb with his 6th goal of the season, 2nd in the SPL, both of them coming this afternoon, has put this game to bed. Well, Nakamura's had a brilliant game. Can't quite see from that angle, but I fancy he was being played on there by the player on that far side. Was it Delwinder Singh? For a minute, I thought it looked to be too good to be true, but Jordan Webb kept his composure, and it was Delwinder Singh, I think, that was playing him onside. And Jordan Webb makes it 2, and the Stags are going top of the Singapore Premier League tonight. Attempted a through ball from Sharbil, and Jordan Webb is on a hat-trick, remember. Stipe Placebat, the only hat-trick in the Singapore Premier League this season so far. Up until this point, Jordan Webb just couldn't get the shot away. Still with Jordan Webb. He's got Boris to his right, who he finds. Boris Kabonovic. Usually when one scored in games this season, the other has followed. It's happened 3 times already that both have scored in the same game. They both scored against Bali in the AFC Champions League qualifier. They both scored against PSM of Indonesia in the AFC Cup. They both scored against Hougang in the Community Shield. And Jordan Webb, well, he had the hat-trick on his mind there, didn't he? And they both, of course, scored in midweek against Shan United. So 4 times this season they've both scored in the same game. Seemingly none the worse for that little bit of illegal Brazilian footwork that came his way. And that's a header that might come to Jordan Webb. Jordan Webb on the hat-trick, selflessly gives it to Boris Kaponovic. Boris Kaponovic has acres of space there for Shirul. Or it might be Saifur, actually, apologies. He couldn't get the shot away. Yeah, it was Zaifrul there with a real opportunity. Jordan Webb, no selfish play, taking the pot shot there. Got it to Boris. There was nothing too wrong with the cross, but Zaifrul just unable to get there. Now some space for Surya. Can Surya get a cross in? Yes, he can. Shazwan's not come for this, and there's a header on goal. Well, that's the first, I think I'm not wrong in saying, the first shot on target that they've had, Tanjong Pagar United, and it's taken Luis Jr. to the 87th minute to come up with it. He's already been booked, Jan Motta. He needs to be careful, because the last thing Tanjong Pagar United want is to lose a player through suspension as you get another look at the one and only shot that's come in on target. Jordan Webb, he's still running Jordan Webb. He wants the hat-trick, and they might find him here, and they do. Jordan Webb, he's got support, turns inside. He's got Boris to his right, finds Boris. Jordan Webb getting into the area to try and get on the end of this for the hat-trick. Oh, Boris Kaponovic from a narrow angle with Jordan Webb waiting to try and get his third, and it's into the side netting. Final 90 seconds, and I can almost guarantee you there won't be more than 3 minutes of time added on here. Jordan Webb has run the show in this second half to swing it in with his left foot. Good delivery as well, and the header's up, and it's just wide of the mark. Great delivery from Ignatius Sang, absolute beauty. Can they fashion one more chance though, because Boris is on the ball. Boris Kaponovic, great strength, and he's found Jordan Webb with what might be the last attacking foray of the game. Can the Stags make it 3? Can Webb complete his hat-trick? Oh, the shot is straight at Kenji, who gathers it up as our referee, Zulfikar Mustafa, blows for full time. It's finished. Tampines Rovers 2, Tanjung Pagar United 0.
First half, despite going down, we still did well. We still follow according to the game plan. Well, still proud of the boys, despite losing 2-0. But yeah, this football.
I need to be more clinical in goal, especially when we play, a tougher opponent. Not saying they weren't hard, but yeah. So I wouldn't really say it was that great of a performance because I didn't finish my other opportunities.
Jordan Webb was in inspiring form, and that is a welcome victory for Tampines Rovers, who responded well after their defeat to DPMM last week. Two other teams who are still searching for their first win are Young Lions and Balestier Khalsa. We find out how they get on after this short break. Welcome back to the story so far of the 2020 AIA Singapore Premier League. Jurong West Stadium is our next destination as the Young Lions and Balestier Khalsa battled it out.
A number of big changes. So 5 today from the side that got thrashed by Gelang. Fikri Junaidi, Shaul Nizam Mazlan both start up front, which means there's no place, perhaps puzzlingly for some. Ilhan Fandi, Reza Reski is not even available. Abdul Rasak is also he's sitting in front of me in the stands. So those two are not around. Ryan Stewart gets a start today. Remember, he's come across from Warriors. Safri Jupri as well. He's back in the side. He started the first game. Daniel Crichton is also in. For Balestier Khalsa, they make 3 changes from the side that drew with Albrecht Negata. Shime Zuzul certainly had quite the impact when he came on. He starts today along with Shukri Nur Haizam and Ayman Zaivan, with Kartik Raj, Faisal Rafi on the bench. Khalili Khalif is not available today. Shot is blocked. The shot coming in from Shaul Nizam. An opportunity there, it's rocked the bottom of the post. Safri. Great work on that byline by Ryan Stewart. Took a little bit of a deflection. He hit that really well, didn't he? Keeper's come off his line now, surely he can finish it. Hazwan Halim takes advantage of the mistake from Nur Shafiq. Did the keeper need to rush out like that? I don't think so. Safi will feel that perhaps he had that covered, and that's why he has a bit of a go there at Nur Shafiq. Can be a forward. That is a real blow, isn't it? Silly. He has to go, and that might just level things up. Well, you've already had one. You just got to be very careful here. Bruncevic! And he gets the second, and boy, do they need that just to make things safe here. Bruncevic, who had chances in the game against Albrecht Negata, now gets his name on the score sheet. Floated right in. Oh, no one's even got a touch on that. That'll be the disappointment. Yeah, I don't think they're going to like looking at that one again. Next week against Hougang United. Bruncevic clears. Chance here, surely. Oh, it's too close to the keeper from Jacob Mahler. Well, that would have been a consolation. 3 minutes of added time at a comfortable height for Zaiful Nizam. Did really well to get himself in this position, but far too close to the goalkeeper.
Joy for Balestier Khalsa on a tricky pitch as Marko Kralevic's men finally got off the mark after coming close in their previous game. We end off week 3 with the return of Hougang United to Hougang Stadium, where they took on Geylang International.
563 days it's taken for Hougang to be able to play on the stadium they call home. The time is up, unfortunately for them, behind closed doors, but the Halls are still in attendance, locked outside the stadium, but all with vantage points on the far side as we look at the pictures of Geylang International coming out for this one. Geylang, for their part, well, having bounced back from that dismal display against Albrechts to beat the Young Lions by 3-0, they'll be hoping Noor Ali's faith in a Singapore strike force can guide them to a valuable 3 points that could, with a big enough win, take them, like Hougang, top of the table. Link up with Barry Maguire or Ichikawa again. Runners galore as they can try and swing this in from the left footer. Too close to the keeper. He nearly catches him out, and he has caught him out. Well, he's not even celebrating. Christopher Van Heusen, 10 assists last season in the Singapore Premier League, and he's got a goal. But Hougang once more won't keep a clean sheet, and Kai Rudin will be having nightmares tonight. Christopher Van Heusen not even celebrating that goal. The keeper's had an absolute shocker. The skipper of Hougang, Kai Rulin, with a catastrophic concession of a goal. Headed away well, but they've not cleared it convincingly, and it's come to Barry Maguire. Now he knows how to score from this kind of range. Barry Maguire! And he's furious with himself. He thinks he should have done better. Well, it wouldn't have been as spectacular as his goal of the season from last campaign, but Barry Maguire, you give him space on that left foot in that kind of area. Look at the space he's got here. His first touch is a good one. He takes it out as Aplin from the game, but he couldn't register the shot on target, and bearing in mind what they've seen from Kai Rudin already. Stipe Plazabat. Oh, his arm's gone out there. Referee plays on, and to his credit, there was no complaining from Josh Pereira, but it's led to Hougang launching what they hope will be a promising attack. That needs Stipe Plazabat to get back in the danger area, though, having had to drop back to create that. It's not happened. Well, they're coming again here. And Geylang International have got options to the left and to the right. They found Vestering screaming for it on the far side. It's Barry Maguire, and Barry Maguire will get to this. There's nobody near him. Flag stays down. Barry Maguire, no one can apply the finishing touch. Should have been 2-0, really. Hougang all over the place at the back. Geylang with all the time in the world. They cannot keep giving Barry Maguire that much time and space. Meanwhile, up the other end, it's starting to go end-to-end now. Farhan Kifli to the edge of the area. Farhan Kifli, can he get the shot away? He goes down, wanted a penalty, nothing doing, and Clement Teo and the bench of Hougang are furious. Well, if he doesn't give the penalty, surely he's going to book him for a dive there. Let's have a look at this. Farhan Kifli with 2 Geylang International players in attendance. Well, there was a lunge, wasn't there? There was definitely a lunge from Josh Pereira. But if he doesn't give the penalty, he's got to give the card for a dive. Geylang almost playing Hougang at their own match-up here. That's beautiful passing, orchestrated by Maguire. Plays in Darren Tate with a cross. And that would have been a sensational score. Cairo Nizam was darting in. That would have been one of the goals of the season so far, already finished. Barry Maguire putting the strings in midfield. Darren Tate finding space out wide. The cross was absolutely world-class. And I think for a minute I thought that Zachary Anderson had a little push on Cairo Nizam, but there was no reaction playing their tunes today. But they'll continue getting behind the team. Leonard Coe, the team manager of Geylang, is in heated debate with the 4th official. On this near side is Shawal Anwar. Shawal Anwar into the area, and Geylang clear. Again, they just can't pick out Stipe Plazabat at the moment in those situations. He's onside here, if he can get it. Cairo Nizam, and he heads it back really well to Iqbal Hussain. Iqbal. Look at the work having to be done by Nazrul to get back and cover in the middle of your shot there. Nazrul. Good work. Van Heusen. Oh, my word! Oh, my word! I have seen it all now. Chris Van Heusen has scored twice, and Kai Rulin, well, his teammates are going over to console him. I mean, it's just bizarre. One calamity in the first half, an even worse calamity in the second, and Hougang now have to come from 2 down. What on earth has Christopher Van Heusen done to Kai Rulin in this game? It's unforgivable, quite frankly. You cannot have a goalkeeper for a team like Hougang with tightened aspirations conceding like this. It's schoolboy stuff from Hougang defensively. And Galing International, remember, if they win by 2, they'll be top of the league tonight. The man that's just come on, Afik, to take the corner. Delivery is good, the header is in, and what a save that is. I want to see the replay there to see whether it was keeper or defender that got the touch, but it was a great save nonetheless. Hougang, brilliant delivery from Afik, the first contribution he's made, and that was a bullet header. Will he try and do it again? Iqbal or Ferdhouse? Iqbal! Oh, side netting. Good effort. And that time, Khairulin was rooted to the spot. Khairulin gets it to Anders Aplin. There's still time here, by the way, if Hougang can get one. Anders Aplin looking for Stipe Plazamet, flicks it on Plazamet. Was looking for Sahil. Anu Manthan, he's dropped deeper since those changes. Here comes Hafiz. Oh, they've got one back. And it's Shawal Anwar against his former club, and now it's game back on. Well, there am I writing the obituaries of Hougang, but with 10 minutes to play, Geylang lost concentration. We've got our third goal and we've got game back on. The substitute, Hafiz involved, and Shawal Anwar got there before the, up to this point, immaculate Harith Kanadi. The defender has to take a little bit of responsibility there, but let's credit the cross from Hafiz and Shawal Anwar. If they put up 3, I'll give up trying to work out how they accumulate and come to the decision of how much time should be added on. Doesn't seem to be an exact science these days. That's gone in, and a chance for Zainul, who had to tip that over. He had to be on his guard. It was almost the third goalkeeping shocker in 90 minutes, and he may have hurt his hand in the process. Well, if he's not fully fit, he'd do well to get medical attention. Have a look at this. From open play, but that's the only difference between that and Van Heusen's first goal, and the other difference, of course, is that the keeper got something to it. If Zainul doesn't touch that, it may well have crept in. And there you have it, a big victory and a famous win for Noor Ali. Our referee for the day, Farhad Mohammed, blows for full time, and in an eerie silence, bearing in mind we're behind closed doors, and with the Hougang Halls watching from outside the stadium, stunned into silence by the defeat here, it really is a Sunday afternoon that belongs to Geylang. A little bit of afters with Anna Zaplin and the referee after the game, but let's give some credit to this man. We call them wrong when they're wrong. His team were an embarrassment against Albrechts playing with 9, but he's regrouped them. He's stuck with the Singaporeans up front. He's decided to bench some of the foreign talent, and with the heart of the team made in Singapore, he's followed that defeat against Albrechts with back-to-back wins against the Young Lions, and now Hougang, last season's third-place team. It's finished here. Hougang United 1, Geylang International 2.
Last season it was more of like getting the assists and stuff like that. Getting the goals this year is like something new for me. But I mean, the first goal was something I planned because I knew like the keeper liked to like sort of read the directions of my kicks. And the second goal was something I didn't have. I was unexpecting, man, because the field is bumpy.
You know, Kai is a great goalkeeper. I think he was there in many other games when we were not defending very well. And you know, as footballers, we have our off days, and today is probably his. So, words of encouragement, you know, just come back stronger. We have a game on Wednesday, and let's get the 3 points there.
Balestier Khalsa will be pleased to come away from a tricky away encounter at Jurong West with 3 points in the bag. Tampines Rovers were comfortable in their 2-0 win over Tanjung Pagar United, while Geylang International will gladly take the win after Lady Luck seemed to favour them against Hougang United. Eastern rivals Tampines Rovers and Geylang International make up the top 2 with both level on 6 points. Balestier Khalsa look in good shape as well as they sit in 4th place. Week 4 promises to be the best one yet as we bring you the biggest match of the season to date. Tampines Rovers versus Lion City Sailors. Join us for that in the next episode of the story so far in the 2020 AIA Singapore Premier League. And do keep up with the SPL on our social channels below. We will see you next time.